ICE facility.
As J.D. Vance said, if you encourage violence against our police and our federal law enforcement, you can go straight to hell.
By getting those 8% at least off of the street, the brave men and women of ICE are saving American lives. Yesterday we announced that now our ICE officers are facing a 1,000% increase in assaults against them. And you read about the stories and hear what's happening from coast to coast every day in our national media and in our press. But it's in large part due to the pro-sanctuary state and cities policies and the language of elected bureaucrats and politicians that are reckless with their lives and endangering their families. Every public official should talk about and work to protect people, to keep them safe and American people's lives safe. I want you to look at the contraband that's in front of me. We have 20 kilograms of fentanyl that's in front of me on this table. That's enough to kill 10 million people. And here out of this office, this was interdicted just days ago here in Illinois. And because these federal officers have been out on the streets picking up criminals and dangerous individuals, we were able to take this 20 kilograms of fentanyl off the streets and save over 10 million lives. They're also keeping these weapons out of the hands of criminals that would use it to rob and assault and to murder individuals in these communities. Unfortunately, all of the politicians that have spoken out against their efforts, their desire appears to be that they would like to have more of this on their streets.
No, they come out and they say they don't want guns. What do you mean? What they should say is that they don't want actual citizens with rights and like good morals and shit to have guns, because those people shouldn't, get to defend themselves. But everybody else is fine. The ultra rich can have as many guns as they like. The illegal aliens can have as many guns as they like. But no, like white Republicans. Fuck those guys. Those guys are evil. You know what I'm saying?
More drugs out there for their kids and families to be victimized.
Who doesn't want more drugs for their kids? I mean, let's just be honest, right? Like, honestly, a lot of these trans kids, they probably need some more drugs.
More guns out there committing crimes. That is not the work that we do in ICE. The work that we do is to protect people and make sure that we remove these weapons and drugs off of our streets and hold those criminals accountable who would go forward and continue to use that to harm individuals. I just want to ask you for 3 things today. Number 1, I want to ask you to support your law enforcement officers.
Yeah.
Have their backs.
Fuck yeah.
Every single individual that's out there that is noisy and attacking them right now is having...
Yeah, absolutely. Support your police officers, support federal police officers, support the administration, and don't support political assassinations. That's just kind of where we're at with this. Like, I don't know why I have to say this again and again and again. There is something I wanted to show. Hang on a minute. Here we go. Get this. So this is California. California is number 1 in homelessness, number 1 in poverty and addiction, in gas prices, in income tax, in gas tax, in budget deficit, in retail theft, in citizen exodus, number 1 in the COVID mandates, number 1 in COVID school closures, in COVID business closures. I'm old enough to remember when he was stopping people from doing shit. And he was out because his kids were in like public school. He was out going to like restaurants and shit, not masked up at all, but then requiring people get like 8 boosters and wear 3 masks because Fauci is the science. Anyway, number 1 in illegal immigration, in funding illegal migration, in illiteracy. Number 1 in illiteracy. I wonder why he keeps winning. Just a thought there. Number 1 in wage stagnation. Number 1 in frivolous lawsuits. Number 1 in worker restrictions. And number 1 in anti-business regulations. He's going to come out and claim that he's number 1 in small business startups when he's not. He's not at all. Okay? They try and start there, and it doesn't fucking work. Okay, so there has been a 1,000% increase on assaults on ICE officers as Gavin Newsom signs this unconstitutional law to ban law enforcement officer protections. I don't know about being unconstitutional. This is from the Department of Homeland Security, so I mean, I'm just assuming. I don't know about being unconstitutional, but I do know that there's no fucking reason that he should be coming out and saying law enforcement should not be allowed to wear masks. But that other people that loot and raid fucking small businesses should be allowed to wear masks as long as they don't steal more than $900 worth of stuff. Because that's fine. That's an acceptable amount of losses. These people are fucking crazy. Whoa, he's sweet but a psycho, a little bit psycho. Ah, dude. Alright, so I want to end this on a more positive note because our 48th president of these United States of America, J.D. Vance here. Now, he's not the 48th president yet, but he will be. And,
your payment.
I'm going to not watch this ad, so give me just 1 second, and we'll finish this on this note here, because I think, I have not watched this, but I think this man just torches people, and it goes right along with what I've been saying this entire fucking time. These people are evil, these people are terrorists, these people should be deported, and if you don't like it, fuck you.
So I also got to talk a little bit about another law and order problem. I said Charlie Kirk's assassination was the most political and disgusting violence that we've had in this country in the last couple of weeks, and that was true maybe until this morning. Because I don't know if you all have followed the news, and we're still learning a little bit about it, but what we know is that in Dallas, Texas, an ICE facility, an Immigrations and Customs Enforcement facility, was opened fire on by a violent left-wing extremist, a person who wrote anti-ICE messaging on their bullets, and there's some evidence that we have that's not yet public, but we know this person was politically motivated. They were politically motivated to go after law enforcement. They were politically motivated to go after people who are enforcing our border. And I think that is the most disgusting thing.
You're right.
The very people who keep us safe ought to be honored and protected and praised by Democrats and Republicans.
They should be. There's no reason that the police should be politicized. Like, this is fucking nuts. Crime should be kind of a like a reaching across the aisle point, right? Like, nobody wants their shit to be stolen. Nobody wants their kids to be fearful of their lives, right? When I was a kid, we would roam the mother streets, okay? I was in 3rd grade and I walked to school. I would challenge a parent to let their kid do that now. It doesn't even matter where they are. They don't have to be in a large city like I was. Dude, it is undeniable that it is much more dangerous now than it used to be. What are we doing?
Alike, it is time to stop the rhetorical assault on law enforcement. Because here's what happens. Because here's what happens when Democrats like Gavin Newsom did say that these people are part of an authoritarian government. When the left-wing media lies about
what do you do to Nazis?
What they're doing, when they lie about who they're arresting, when they lie about the actual job of law enforcement, what they're doing is encouraging crazy people to go and commit violence. You don't have to agree with my immigration policies. You don't have to agree with Donald Trump's immigration.
Yeah, you know what? We didn't agree with Biden's immigration policies. That doesn't mean we were out there murdering Mayorkas.
Policies. But if your political rhetoric encourages violence against our law enforcement, you can go straight to hell and you have no place in the political...
Goddamn right. You can go straight to hell. I've said it before and I will say it again. This man has earned my respect and he deserves our vote in 2028. Oh, I want 8 years with this man, and then I want 8 years with whoever the fuck he decides to be he decides to have as his vice president. Okay, this man will be the 48th president if I have anything to say about it.
Conversation of the United States of America.
Hell yeah. He's even more based. He's like Turbo Trump, man, for real. I don't know if you've seen what this dude says on social media, but he just flat comes out. I don't give a fuck what you call things.
Just yesterday, NBC News, maybe the worst of all the fake news, and I'm sure we have an NBC reporter out there. It's a tough competition, my friends, to be clear. But maybe the worst, I said maybe the worst, is NBC News.
Yeah,
and they
for real. You don't
said
hate
that
the media
immigration
enough, trust me.
enforcement, you know what they said? That immigration enforcement had detained a 5-year-old autistic girl in order to get to that girl's father. Turned out that story was a complete fabrication. It was a complete dishonest lie.
I mean,
but when you go around and lie about our law enforcement and you tell them that they're mistreating 5-year-old girls, what do you think is going to happen? When Democratic
Yeah, look, I mean, I'm just saying, you can't come out and say it's okay to punch a Nazi, it's okay to go back in time and kill baby Hitler in his crib, and then you can't expect this violent, like, extremist shit to not cause violence in the streets whenever you call a particular side of the political aisle racist, Nazi, white supremacist fascists for the last 10 years, with no base at all.
Politicians incur doxing when they encourage us to unmask ICE enforcement officers. What do you think is going to happen?
No, they
when the
want
mayor
them
of
to be
Los
attacked.
Angeles encourages violent
They
protesters
want them to
get
not
in the face
do their
of our law
job for
enforcement,
fear of being attacked.
what do you think is going to happen? What's going to happen is political violence, and political violence has gotten out of control in this country.
Yes, it has.
We got to stop it. We got to condemn it, and that starts, unfortunately, at the very top of the Democratic Party. If you want to stop political violence,
starts with Ilhan Omar. Denaturalize and deport her. Just saying.
Stop attacking our law enforcement as the Gestapo. If you want to stop political violence, stop telling your supporters that everybody who disagrees with you is a Nazi. If you want to stop political violence, look in the mirror. That's the way that we stop political violence in this country, and we've got to do it.
I agree. I definitely base J.D. Vance.
And while we're all mourning and rooting for and praying for everybody who was injured at that ICE facility, and as far as we know, it looks like some of the detainees, in other words, some of the potential illegal aliens, were some of those who were affected. Look, just because we don't support illegal aliens, we don't want them to be executed by violent assassins.
No, we want them deported. We don't want them executed. We want them deported.
So we're praying both for our ICE agents, but also for everybody who's affected by this terrible attack. But that was an...
As far as I know, the ICE agents are fine. But the fucking retard that shot at them killed a bunch of the detainees. I'm just throwing that shit out there. Like, the guy that's anti-ICE accidentally killed a bunch of the illegal immigrants that ICE had detained, and then shot himself. I assume because he was ashamed. And you know what? Fuck him. As J.D. Vance said, if you encourage violence against our police and our federal law enforcement, you can go straight to hell.
And as these guys behind me know, and a few of our police officers know, police officers writ large face too many threats of violence all across the United States of America.
Yeah, it's a dangerous
and
job,
we know where
for
it
sure.
started.
We
all
guys
remember
up
the
and going to
summer
work
of
every day makes me
2020
hero, for sure.
when all of these violent protesters were encouraged to treat police as the enemy instead of as the solution. You'd take 1,000 police officers, you'd find one person who didn't do something perfect, and use that one guy to tarnish the other 999 police officers.
Yep.
Well, I would like everybody, whether a Democrat, a Republican, or an independent, especially those in political leadership, can we all just agree that our police officers are heroes, that they are public servants, and that the first and most important step of keeping all of us safe is to keep our police officers safe, because they are the thin blue line between...
Didn't you know, JD? Didn't you know? Safety among your citizens is a right-wing fascist statement. Didn't you know that?
Civilization and chaos. Thank you all.
Thank you all, J.D. Vance says. This shit has to stop, guys. It has to stop. It's getting way out of hand in this country, and the police force is getting attacked at record numbers, and it's insane, and we need to change the culture in this country. Follow me on X, follow me on Rumble, on YouTube, watch this kick stream, share it with your friends. Start one of your own. I don't care. We just need to start making fun of these people and making sure that they do not ever think that it is acceptable to speak this bullshit in polite and civilized society again. Thank you. Bye.